Hello everyone, my name is Aastha. I welcome you all to our classes for International English Olympiad for class 5th. This is our 21st class wherein we will be doing the topic of punctuation. Now we will be understanding various punctuation marks and their correct usages so that you can understand when it's the right time to use which one. Alright, let's get started.
Today's class, the format will be like this. First of all, we will be learning about the introduction as to what punctuation really is, and then this will be followed by how to use various punctuation marks, what is the correct usage, etc. This will be followed by various examples, and then in the end we will be doing a little quiz. And these quiz here, the questions will be based on the mock questions as per the pattern of IEO. So we will do various punctuation marks, how to use them, when to use them correctly, then followed by various examples, and then in the end we will be doing our quiz. Alright, let's start. Alright, so first we will understand what punctuation really is, its meaning. Now punctuation refers to a mark such as full stop, comma, or a question mark used in writing to separate sentences and their elements and to clarify the meaning. So what is punctuation? Punctuation refers to a mark. And what are the examples of such marks? Like full stops, like commas, like question marks. We will be doing further more punctuation marks in the following slide, but this is just a brief meaning that punctuation includes various marks. And what are they used for? What is the purpose? They are used in writing to separate sentences and their elements. Separate various sentences and elements and clarify the meaning. So various punctuation marks या में sentences और उनके elements क्या होते हैं? जैसे sentence के अंदर the subject, the predicate, the various words, the actions. So all these elements to separate them and also to clarify the meaning. To clarify the meaning. कैसे full stop से हमें कैसे क्या पता चलेगा कि यहाँ sentence खत्म हो गया? हमें comma से क्या पता चलेगा? जैसे कि अब we are referring to more words, more clauses. और question mark से क्या पता चलेगा कि ये question है. So ऐसे ही to clarify meaning. So this is the basic definition of punctuation. Basic understanding आपको होनी चाहिए कि punctuation होती क्या है. These include marks, full stops, commas, question marks, which are used in writing to separate the sentences and their elements and to clarify meaning. Alright, I hope the meaning is clear. Now we will move on to the next slide. Alright, so now we begin with various punctuation marks. The first one is period or full stop. Here is the full stop. We know what a full stop is. Let's see its various uses. First of all, it is used at the end of a sentence. This is pretty easy that it is used at the end of a sentence. For example, I will decide what to wear and a full stop. So full stops are used at the end of a sentence. When you have completed a sentence, you put a full stop. Then it is also used at the end of a command. When you're giving a command to somebody, open the door. Right? When you're commanding someone to open the door, get me a glass of water. Or like something like sit down. So these kind of commands, we use full stop. Then at the end is used at the end of an indirect question. Now, indirect question, suppose, see, a direct question is me asking you just this: which book did you refer for history? And for this, we would have used a question mark. Alright, which book did you refer for history? But in case of an indirect question, what happens is you don't this is not a direct question, it is an indirect question where you say, I am asking which book did you refer for history. So this is an indirect question, although it is a question, but it does not really have a question mark because it is not a direct question. It is being asked in an indirect manner. So you use full stop in this case. Then it is used in abbreviations. Like here, the sentence is, I like mangoes, strawberries, etc. for breakfast. So etc. etc. dot. This is an abbreviation for etc. So here you use full stop to show that this is an abbreviation. And at the end of all these sentences, so when is the period or a full stop used? At the end of a sentence, at the end of a command, like open the door. It is used at the end of an indirect question, like I'm asking which book did you refer for history? And it is used in abbreviations like I like mangoes, strawberries, etc. for breakfast. Alright, let's move on to the next punctuation. Alright, so now this is also part of punctuation as to where a capital letter is used. Now capital letters are used in these following criteria, these following ways. When we are telling about days or months, like here, day, we're talking about Monday or Tuesday, any day of the week, we use a capital letter. Then when we're talking about the month, April, so A is capital. Then whenever the pronoun I is used, whenever due to I, it is never, only a single I. We don't write it like this. This is incorrect. We write it in capital manner. For example, Jack and I are going to a concert tonight. Then when we refer to first names, Mary, John, Alexander, Elizabeth, and any first name, we use the first letter is capital here and here. And similarly, when we tell surnames, Brown, Smith, Clinton, Obama, any surname, your first letter is capital. Similarly, when we are talking about any titles like Queen, like Doctor, any other profession, Professor, Prince, King, so we use the first letter is capital. Then countries first letter is capital. India, Australia, Spain, any country. Towns and cities like London, L capital, New York, N and Y capital, Hong Kong, HUK capital, so on. Places and buildings like the White House, so T, W and H capital. The Eiffel Tower, here I, E and T, E, Eiffel Tower, first letter is a capital. Street names, rivers, lakes and oceans like the Thames, Lake Victoria, Atlantic Ocean, A capital. Mountains and volcanoes, Mount Everest, M&E capital. Alps, A capital. Mount Vesuvius. Religious terms like Catholic, Christian, Methodist, Hindu, God, Allah, all these first letters capital. Languages, English, E is capital. Spanish, French, Italian. Then nationalities. American, A. Norwegian, N capital. Greek, G capital. English, E capital. Russian, R capital. Any brand names. Pepsi, P capital. Mercedes, M capital. Chanel, C capital. Vuitton, V capital. Rolex, R capital. Any companies or organizations like Apple, A capital. Google, G capital. Amazon, A capital. IKEA, I capital. BBC, it's a short form, so all of it is capital. United Nations, UN, N capital. Holidays and festivals, Christmas, Easter, Halloween, all these. So you see capital letters in English. They are also a very important part of punctuation. So you have to remember where you have to make the first letter of that particular word as capital. Alright, let's move on now. Okay, so the next punctuation is a comma. Punctuation mark is comma. We all know what a comma is, right? This is how a comma looks like. So when is comma used? It is used after the expression. Suppose we're talking about we use some expression like fortunately or unfortunately or afterwards or next or then, now. These kind of expressions, after them a comma is used. You see here the comma, and at the end we use our full stop. Then next usage could be, it is used after the use of a past participle. Now while driving, this is a past participle being used, that past participle is while driving. And then what happened? I could see the trees passing by. So while driving is the past participle. So after the usage of the past participle, a comma is used. Then comma could also be used to separate sentences. For example, I went to the market, comma, and purchased a few boards. So these are two separate sentences. इनको हम दो separate sentences में कैसे लिखेंगे? I went to the market, full stop. I and की जगह I purchased a few boards, full stop. But we are joining these two sentences, writing them together. So to show these two separate sentences in one sentence, we say I went to the market, comma, and purchased a few boards, full stop. Alright. The other usage would be, it is used to set off quoted words. Quoted words. For example, she said, comma. Now when we are telling about what someone has said exactly, when we are quoting somebody else, that what she said, she said, and the exact words, I am telling her exact words. Then she said, then we use a comma and then give her quoted words. Alright, so when is comma used? It is used after the expression. It is used after the use of past participle. It is used to separate sentences. And it is used to set off quoted words. Alright, now let's move on to the next punctuation mark. Alright, so for comma we have a few more usage, like comma is used when an adverb clause is used. Like here, after, when we are talking about this expression, this clause, that after is a adverb, right? After is an adverb. So after mom arrives, then we all should have our dinner. So after mom arrives is the adverb clause. So after this we will be using a comma and then giving the rest of the sentence. Next, it is used to separate parts of a date. For example, my graduation date is May 24, 2017. So graduation date, May 24 and a comma and the year. So you're talking about the month, date and the year, and we're using a comma in the middle. Alright, so these are the two more usages of comma. Let's move on. Now question mark is probably one of the easiest, punctuation mark. It is being used when it indicates a question being asked. Like, would you like some milk? Question mark. How do I look? Question mark. Will you come to my place tomorrow? Question mark. So I'm pretty sure that you will never make a mistake in the punctuation which requires a question mark. This is one of the easiest. Alright, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so here we have quotation marks. Now these are quotation marks. Like we use opening quotation marks, then we in whatever the statement or whatever sentence or clause is there, and then we close the quotation marks. So they are used to enclose a direct quotation. When are they used? To enclose a direct quotation, which means a person's exact words. Like here, my mom said, and we are quoting the exact words of mom. Okay, we are not using this in indirect speech. We are telling this whatever mom said directly. My mom said, and comma. Remember we talked about this in comma when we are quoting somebody. So after we tell that, you know, this person said or that person said. So my mom said, and comma, and then we say, if you don't finish your homework, I won't order pizza today. Right? So many punctuation marks in here. We have a comma, we have quotation marks here, we have another comma here, we have full stop and quotation marks closed. Alright, so using a person's exact words, that's when quotation marks are used. Similarly, we have, he asked, what is your age? So here, again, after he asked, we put in a comma, and then the exact question, the exact words are enclosed in the quotation marks. This is the first usage. Then the second usage is to identify any titles or works or references. For example, we have The Diary of a Young Girl. It is written by Anne Frank. So we have put in her book title and her work in a quotation mark. Then we referred to the Maroon 5 song Yellow, and Yellow is the title of the song. It's the work of Maroon 5. So it's put in it's enclosed in the quotation marks. Alright, so these are two broad usages. Let's move on. Alright, so now let's take the quiz. Punctuation marks. We have done a few broad ones which are important for your reference, and for the IEO, these are the broad categories which are being asked. So I have only covered them for you, and the rest you will learn in your future classes as you move up your grades. So that was all for punctuation. Probably you will be given some sort of unpunctuated, non-punctuated questions where you will have to punctuate them correctly. And the rest, there will be other categories of questions as well, which we will see in the questions. Alright, now it's time for the quiz. Alright, so for the quiz, what we will be doing is, now every question you will be given 1 minute. 1 minute means 60 seconds. Why am I giving you 1 minute? Because you see, your question paper of IEO, it has about 50 questions, and so you can imagine that you get more or less a minute to answer the questions. Now this 1 minute is the maximum that you should be taking for answering the question. Now suppose there could be two, three categories of students. First category is, suppose you answer the question within that 1 minute. So I would request you to fast forward the video and skip right to the answer. You should not be wasting your time. Alright. Now the other students who are not able to answer the question in 1 minute, what you do, you don't skip to the answer. You pause the video and you write down your answer. Alright, it is very important to answer each and every question because there is no negative marking. Here you see, for every incorrect answer, no points, because there is no negative marking in IEO. So it is important that you attempt all the questions. Now for a question of which you are not sure about the answer, now even here and even in the exam, if you are not sure about the answer and you maybe think that B option might be correct or C option might be correct, so you should in that case play your luck and play your mind and make a guess and still give an answer, because it is a win-win situation. Either you will get the marks for that question or you will get a 0, right? But if you don't attempt that question at all, then you are anyway getting a 0 in that, right? So it is good to attempt those questions, and even if you don't know all the answers, try to understand and take a guess. Okay, so this is for every correct answer 10 points. This is just for your own little game where you can try to maintain a notepad. So here you write the name of the chapter and then the question, and then if it is correct you can give yourself 10 points. If it is not correct, you mark it here. So it is important to see these questions, the ones which you mark incorrect. It is important to go back to them later and then see where you did the mistake. Alright, this is just for your reference. For every correct answer you can give yourself 10 points. Alright, now let's start. Alright, so here choose the sentence with the correct punctuation marks. Here we have to put in punctuation. Let's see. Now first of all we'll punctuate the sentence of our own, then choose the correct option. Here we are saying Ram is my best friend. First of all you see here Ram. Ram is a name, it is a proper noun. Also it is the word with which the sentence is starting. So R will be capital. Ram is my best friend. This is a sentence, so at the end of which we'll have a full stop, period. Alright, so here the correct answer is what? C. Ram is my best friend. tomorrow. Let's see. Ashmita. Ashmita is the name of a person. It is a proper noun. Also, it is the word with which the sentence is starting. So this will be capital. So Ashmita, A capital, is leaving for the USA tomorrow. Now here USA. USA is a short form. It is an abbreviation of United States of America. So here we have the full stops in middle, right? And at the end, Ashmita is leaving for the USA tomorrow. At the end of the sentence, we have what? A full stop. So here and here after USA, we're going to separate these two clauses. Ashmita is leaving for the USA tomorrow. So separating these, we have comma here. Correct answer is D. Right here. Is Seema coming to the Andaman Islands? So first of all, is the word with which the sentence is starting. So I will be capital, then Seema. Seema is a proper noun, is the name of someone. So S will be capital. Is Seema coming to the Andaman Islands? Andaman Islands is the name of a place, name of the islands. So here the initials will also be capital. And also this is a question, whether Seema is coming to the Andaman Islands or not. So we'll have a question mark. So the correct answer is which one? B. Seema coming to the Andaman Islands. Where do you live in New York? Starts with where. It starts with a capital W. Why? Because it is the word with which the sentence is starting. Then where do you live in New York? Here for New York, it's the name of a place. So the initials should be capital N and Y. And then since it is a question, so we will have a question mark. So which is the correct answer here? Yeah, B. Where do you live in New York? Alright. and Sheena were invited to the party in Hotel Taj. Okay, here let's see Dimple and Sheena. First of all, we're talking about Dimple. Now, Dimple is the name of a person. Sheena is also the name of a person. So, D and S will be capital. These are proper nouns. Were invited to the party in Hotel Taj. Now, here, Hotel Taj is the proper name of a place, certain location. So, here these initials will also be capital. And then in the end, we'll have a full stop. Alright. So, the correct answer is A. Dimple and Sheena were invited to the party in Hotel Taj. Here the question says, may I help you? May I help you? We start with M. Now here, starting the sentence with the word, the letter of which should be capital. Then we have pronoun I, which is also always capital. Then may I help you? This is a question, so we will have a question mark. Correct answer is A. Alright. So here, what a pleasant day it is. What is the word with which the sentence is starting? So W will be capital. Then what a pleasant day it is. Now, although it may seem like a question because it is starting with what, but it's not. You have to be careful. This is an exclamation. What a pleasant day it is. Okay, you are enjoying the weather and exclaiming that it is a pleasant day, right? So the correct answer is D. here, hurrah, for this, H is going to be capital. Then hooray is an exclamation, after which there will be an exclamation mark. Then we have I. Now I is always capital. Then I won the match. The sentence ends and you put a period. Full stop. Alright. So the correct answer is A. Hooray, I won the match. Okay, so here, did you plan a tour to Karnal Lake? Starts with did, which D will be capital. Did you plan a tour to Karnal Lake? This is a specific place, which the initials will be capital. Alright, and in the end we will have a question mark because it is a question. So the correct answer is B. Okay, so here Prince and Smith will go for an outing. Here Prince and Smith both are names of people. They are supposed to be proper nouns, so their initials will be capital. Then Prince and Smith will go for an outing. It's not a question, it's a statement, so it ends in a full stop. Correct answer is C. Prince and Smith will go for an outing. Anita lives at 10 Bajrang Bali Colony. Here, let's see Anita. Anita is the name of a person. Also, Anita is the word with which the sentence is starting. So we will be capitalizing the initial A. Anita lives at 10 Bajrangbali Colony. So here we are talking about the address. Okay. So for the address, then we'll have 10, comma, separating the parts of the address. All right. And for here, Bajrangbali Colony, this is one word. This is one phrase, one address, one part of the address. So here, Bajrang Bali Colony. Here the initials will be capital and at the end we'll have a full stop. So here the correct answer is D. Okay, so here, let's see, Meera, Geeta and Vani purchased a sofa from Vashi. Okay, so here, Meera, M capital because name, actually so many names, Meera, Geeta, Vani and Vashi. All these are, Vashi I think is a place or the name of a person. I can't figure this out, but anyway, whatever it has to be capitalized. The initial has to be capitalized. M, G, V and V. All these will be capitalized. And then Meera, Geeta and Vani. So separating these, we'll have to put in a comma. Meera, comma, Geeta and Vani purchased a sofa from Vashi. And at the end, we will be having what? Be having a full stop. Right. The correct answer here is here A. Meera, Geeta and Vani purchased a sofa from Vashi. So with this, we finish off with the questions on punctuation. All right. So
that's all for our topic on that's all for our class on punctuation. This was our last conceptual class. In the next class, what we are going to do is the sample paper. That's all for all the concepts. So before doing the next class, make sure you have revised all the concepts so that you can attempt the sample paper with, with a complete revision. All right. I will see you the next time. Thank you for watching.